tragedy leaving a family heartbroken.
Because this is just something you never, ever expect.
And a community on edge. Remembering loved ones through nature.
They'll mix their loved ones' cremated remains, they'll make a part of the reef.
While also helping the marine life. And the job searching for graduates begins.
Statistically, you're going to hear back from 1 or 2.
How to enter the workforce. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Kenneth Bueno.
And I'm Julian Davis. Today's Thursday, May 30th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Family tragedy with a pregnant murder victim related to her suspected killer. An abnormal crime has a suburban Minneapolis community on high alert after murder takes a pregnant woman's life.
As KARE 11's Ian Russell reports, the murderer is facing charges for allegedly killing both his sister and her unborn child.
In a neighborhood as peaceful as this one,
I've always felt safe. I've never had an issue.
bad news of any kind is out of the ordinary. But news like this,
it's been difficult,
is unnerving.
being right across from this.
You know, really stuff that's fiction.
The Bonds have lived in their Lakeville home for over a decade. They say random crime happens.
I heard a scream.
Nothing
That was around 11:15.
like this.
Then we had the BCA here all day on Friday.
Just after 11 p.m. last Thursday, Lakeville police responded to this home off Encina Path. Probable cause documents show that a woman called after she hadn't heard from her daughter, Bethany Israel, who was 17 weeks pregnant. That woman says Israel went to have dinner with her brother, Jack Ball, around 6 p.m. After they hadn't heard from Israel, they drove to the home to check on her, where they say they saw Ball quickly leaving. When she went inside, the woman says she saw a, quote, substantial amount of blood. Inside, officers found several bloody weapons and tools, along with dismembered body parts believed to be Israel's. Israel's mother told officers she believed Ball had gone to a cemetery in Rosemount because relatives were buried there. Rosemount and Apple Valley police searched the cemetery before they got another call to a home in Rosemount. That caller told police they saw a man on their front door camera placing what appeared to be a body part on their porch. When officers got there, they found the body part along with Ball's car parked nearby. Officers found Ball, bloody and with what they say looked to be a self-inflicted wound to his throat. Nearby, they found more body parts. Officers also found journals and other paperwork belonging to Ball, where he wrote that he was angry at Israel because she was pregnant and, quote, no longer innocent.
Because this is just something you never, ever expect. So it's been real hard.
And that was KARE 11's Ian Russell reporting. A judge had set Ball's bail at $2 million without conditions, or only $1 million with the conditions.
Families choosing a marine memorial instead of a traditional cemetery plot through a company called Eternal Reefs. Caplin's Jasmine Arosha reports on a group who prepared theirs Thursday in Myrtle Beach.
Death is not easy to talk about.
Larry. Larry was a unique individual who loved the outside, and he loved to fix things, which was fortunate because he also liked to break them.
Larry Youngs from South Carolina was sick for a long time, so he and his wife Betsy planned for the inevitable, but Larry didn't want a grave with a headstone.
We wanted to do something that was environmentally friendly, something that would be different, and something that would reflect him. And we found Eternal Reefs online, and it fit perfectly because we love the ocean.
So each time somebody decides to do this, we get to add another reef to the artificial reef programs of one of the states that we're working in. So far, we've put out more than 3,000 memorials in 7 states, and we're continuing to grow. And this is a very positive green memorial.
These reef balls are made of environmentally safe cast concrete. The process is quite simple and special.
So the families actually come, they'll mix their loved ones' cremated remains, they'll make a part of the reef, they'll get to personalize it with handprints and written messages.
In a way, I guess it's closure. but it was a happy closure to be able to celebrate their life.
And their love of the ocean by creating a new underwater habitat.
We're having problems with reefs around the world right now, and as we add more structure, artificial reef design systems, we end up taking and creating more habitat for fish. But it also has a positive impact both on scuba diving and recreational fishing.
Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Jasmine Arocha.
Florida is now the first state to allow doctors to perform cesarean sections outside of hospitals. The law allows physicians to deliver babies vaginally or by C-section in, quote, advanced birth centers to women with low risk of complications. Patients need an in-network insurance and can stay overnight at the clinics with a hospital transfer agreement. The measure is meant to lower costs and give a homier birthing atmosphere, but critics argue it could increase risks if complications arise.
Now that the graduation celebrations are winding down, it's time for college graduates to think about the workforce. Caplin News reporter Emma Alonso has tips to secure that first job.
It's a season of celebration as college graduates look to the next chapter, and that means entering the workforce. But landing the job you want can be a challenge.
In 22, that graduating class, there were supposedly 2 jobs for every individual. And now it's completely the inverse. There are 2 individuals for every job.
Fran Barrick is a career coach for college students and started her own company, Spearman Coaching. She says it could take 5 to 7 months for graduates to find a job in their field.
It's very depressing just sort of submitting 100 applications, and hearing statistically you're going to hear back from 1 or 2.
Her first tip is to build a profile of jobs you'd be interested in applying to. 2, research the companies. 3, find jobs by networking, like using your college career services, contacting alumni, and talking to friends and family. And 4, play up your skills.
You don't want to be a jack of all trades. You want to be a master of a specific one.
Some entry-level jobs require work experience, and if you don't have any, that's also okay. On your resume, you can list college sports, clubs, and organizations. Don't forget jobs you've held like waitressing and babysitting.
That all counts. And those soft skills that you learn, responsibility, integrity, commitment, totally transferable.
And while you're waiting until you land the job you want, you can either work part-time or volunteer. For Caplin News, I'm Emma Alonso.
This morning, 3D printing technology is cutting the time for home building projects from months to just weeks. As Caplin's Ashanti Jermosin reports, a recent project in Fort Worth, Texas drew the attention of a state official from Montana.
There's potentially good news for future homebuyers as 3D printing technology is being used to build a house today.
It's basically running on autopilot, and it's taking the design that's fed into it and actually printing the walls layer by layer.
The house in Fort Worth, Texas is made up of materials 3.5 times stronger than concrete. It is also cheaper and quicker to build.
We have affordable housing issues just the same as there are here, and so we're trying to figure out ways of combating that, and 3D printing and being a new technology, we really want to see it expand, so we had an opportunity to educate ourselves some more on it and came down here to look and learn a little bit more about it.
Black Buffalo 3D is the construction company based in Pennsylvania that is responsible for this innovative technology that may run America by storm soon.
It's not very often that people line up at construction sites just to watch what's going on.
Never seen a 3D house, didn't know they had them. Just curious to see the finished product.
I've been Ashanti Jermosin for Caplin News.
A special gathering for 4th grade students who are learning important reading and writing lessons. Before Christmas break, 4th graders at Coloma Intermediate School near Grand Rapids, Michigan, wrote the first of several handwritten letters to an assigned pen pal veteran, calling it Operation Save. These pen pals are either active duty military, in the reserves, or retired veterans. It started 3 years ago as a way to thank veterans on Veterans Day. Now, near the end of the school year, the students and pen pals met and had lunch together, sharing the memories of what they wrote on paper.
I don't have any more room on my refrigerator between these two. I've got all the letters on there. It's on all 3 sides. I'm going to pull the refrigerator away from the wall and start putting them on the back.
Reading and writing are critical skills for students to learn. Many students hope these friendships they've built will last even after school ends for the summer.
Lionel Messi is back on the pitch as Inter Miami takes on Atlanta.
That's still ahead, and so is his story.
Sends one high and way just turned and watched. A long home run.
The Marlins come alive for the final game of their West Coast road trip. Stick around, Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day.
Millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
The offense for the Miami Marlins goes crazy as they work to avoid a sweep on the road. The Marlins finally landed a big win over the San Diego Padres last night.
In San Diego, Miami dominated with a 9-1 victory. Brayson Garrett pitched 5 solid innings and Josh Bell had 3 hits. Jesus Sanchez hammered a solo home run, helping the Marlins to a season-high 16 hits. The Padres struggled with errors and poor defense, dropping to 13-19 at home. The final score was Marlins 9, Padres 1.
Lionel Messi had a great game last night, but it was not enough for Inter Miami to secure another victory. Atlanta United visited Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale and defeated Inter Miami, despite a goal scored by the Miami superstar himself, Lionel Messi. The win by Atlanta ended Inter Miami's 10-game winning streak. The home team remains in first place in the East, though. Final score of that game was 3-1. You're watching Newsbreak. Stick around and we're coming right back.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes.
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Panther in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Julian Davis.
And I'm Kenneth Bueno. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.